The Obama administration will now have to prepare legal defense. More than a dozen other states have filed other lawsuits challenging the law, but Virginia's was the first to go in front of a judge. Let's talk to our judge, our senior judicial analyst, Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good to see you. Judge is a host of Freedom Watch, which runs on Fox Business Network several times over the weekend. Fantastic show. Okay, so how big of a victory is this for folks who do not like the new federal health care law?
It's a very significant victory for a couple of reasons. One, Virginia is the only state that actually, as a state, enacted legislation which basically said the opposite of what Obamacare says. Obamacare says you will buy health insurance, and if you don't buy it or if you don't buy what we like, we're going to charge it for you anyway. Virginia legislation says you don't have to own health insurance in this state, and nobody can force you to do so. So the Attorney General goes to a federal court and said, I have a state law, which I'm obliged as the Attorney General to enforce and defend. I have a federal law that says the opposite. So you, federal judge, tell me which is correct. The feds come in and say, throw out that lawsuit. They don't even have the right to challenge us.
Right.
And the federal judge today says they have the right to challenge you. All the procedural obligations that they didn't dot every I and cross every T that you're objecting about, I'm throwing out. Here's the issue in a nutshell. Does the Congress, under the Constitution's Commerce Clause, have the power to compel you to engage in interstate commerce to buy health insurance? Here's what the judge said. No Congress has ever sought that power, and no court has ever endorsed that power. And I think the state of Virginia has a very strong argument. Let's try the case.
The judge called it a radical idea, didn't he?
What the federal government did?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
what the federal government was doing.
Look, Rick, we went through this. You remember this. We talked about health care till we were blue in the face.
Yep.
Suppose the Congress, in its infinite wisdom, decides that the sun causes skin cancer. Can it then order us all to buy and wear hats whenever we're out in the sun? It's a basic question of the role of the federal government in the lives of individuals. This Congress has overreached into the lives of individuals like no other Congress has before in history. That's not me saying it. That's the trial judge in this case saying.
Okay, so here's what I want to know from you as a former judge, a former sitting judge. Because there are other cases. As we said, this is Virginia. There are 20 other cases. Do judges in those other states who might be hearing those other challenges, do they listen to what this trial judge in Virginia had to say? And does it sway them? That
is a terrific question. There is a tendency on the part of judges, because this is the way we're all trained, to want to follow the most recent decision that ruled on a similar set of facts. So if this federal judge in Virginia invalidates Obamacare, and Rick, with the stroke of a pen, he has the authority to invalidate this clause, the individual mandate, the requirement that you buy health insurance. Other federal judges are likely to follow and to do similarly. But each case is different. In some cases, it's just the Attorney General suing. It's not the whole state suing.
Right.
This is the whole state of Virginia. They enacted legislation. It's impossible to comply with both the federal law, Obamacare, and the Virginia law. A court has to say which one prevails.